Hi Renee, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is the final test of your Singer 201-2 before we pack her up and ship her out. We're going to go through a few things here before we do. The first thing we're going to do is wind a bobbin. So to wind a bobbin, you put the spool on this lower spool pin down here and bring the thread into this bobbin winder tension device, and then you'll notice there are 4 holes, and one of them is just a tiny little one right close to the center. From the inside of the bobbin to the outside, put the thread through that littlest hole. Hold it with your finger and give it several wraps around the bobbin to hold it in place. Then, with the thread coming off the top of your bobbin this way, you want to go onto the bobbin winder, and the thread is going to go over the top this way. Take up the slack. In the center of your hand wheel, there's a chrome knob, which is your clutch knob. If you hold the hand wheel and turn that clutch knob towards you a quarter of a turn or so, it'll release the hand wheel so the hand wheel can spin without cycling the machine. Push your bobbin winder down until it contacts the hand wheel. And then we're ready to wind the bobbin. And don't go real fast or it can get tangly. Okay. We're not going to wind a whole bobbin. We're going to wind just enough to do a test here. Okay, that's more than plenty. Cut it off, leaving yourself 5 inches or so of tail. And then the bobbin goes into the hook down there, with the thread coming off this way from this side. Drop your bobbin in, and then there's a little notch here that your thread goes into. And once it goes into the slot, alright, wrong slot. There we go. You pull it until it clicks into place. Then when you pull straight up, your bobbin will spin. You know you got it right. Then you can close the slide plate and thread the machine. So you put your spool on the spool pin, and it doesn't really matter which side the thread comes off of. Go into your first thread guide, down through the tension discs, all the way up. You'll catch the check spring. Keep going up until you go into the notch here. Then when you pull up on the thread, your check spring will move. Then you know you got it right. Go from there through the take-up lever in that direction, down into this thread guide, into this thread guide, and into this thread guide. And here's where this machine is different from most Singers. Oh, I forgot to mention, retighten your clutch knob and move your bobbin wheel away from your winder away from the hand wheel. Give yourself a little bit of extra. Cut yourself a nice clean end, and if you can cut it at a sharp angle, that's all the better. The thing that's different about this Singer, like the featherweight, it threads from the inside out, from the center to the left. And when you put your needle in, the flat side will go that way instead of that way, like on most singers. So we're threading in this direction. Careful you don't tangle your thread around anything. Get a double wrap somewhere or around the needle twice or something silly like that. Turn the hand wheel towards you and go one full cycle until your needle comes all the way up again, and then you should be able to pull up your bottom thread. Alright, so now we have 2 threads. Go between the toes of the presser foot and to the back of the machine. This is just a little piece of denim scrap. Do a quick run with that. This is your stitch length. In the center is 0, and either direction, up or down from there, the stitches get larger, longer and longer and longer in the forward direction if you press down, and longer and longer and longer in reverse if you press up. If you want to lock your stitch length so it's the same if you're going in forward or reverse, loosen this knob and bring it up until you'll feel it when it contacts the lever. Now when you sew in reverse to back tack or whatever, your stitch length will be the same. But for now, we are not going to do that. We're just going to have it wide open so it can go wherever we want it. So I'm going to start with a short stitch length. And so holding your 2 threads for the first few stitches, give it a little gas. Now we can increase the stitch length, or we can reverse it. Forward again, reverse again, forward. Okay. And then this is the thread sample I was using while I was testing the machine when I was first working on it. There's an extra needle for you. We've got just regular shirting type fabric, 4 layers of denim here, and a couple layers of leather down here. And we're going to sew through all of those. Through the broadcloth, we'll use a short stitch. And again, we'll hold the thread while we get it started. And as we get going to the denim, we're going to do a little bit longer stitch. Again, this is 4 layers of denim. And when we get to the leather, I'm going to do an even longer stitch because it makes a stronger seam in leather if your stitches are longer and not too close together, because they have more likelihood of tearing if the holes are close together. And also, if you're going to be sewing leather, you'll want to get a leather needle, which you can get at just about any department store or your local sewing store, or of course online. So with a long stitch length, right on into the leather. This is garment leather. This is about the weight of leather that a purse would be made out of, or maybe a pair of moccasins. Again, there's no hurry, especially when you're doing heavy stuff. Of course, if you want to hurry, you can. This is just about one of the smoothest sounding machines I've ever sewn on. Smooth and fast. This is an awesome machine. So let's take it to the middle here just for fun. Careful not to get your threads tangled around the presser foot. A little longer stitch length for the denim. There, we'll stop right there. And we'll tie it off this way, in case you don't remember all of this. Before you cut this thread, just take a look at where all your thread path goes. Familiarize. I do speak English sometimes. Familiarize yourself with the thread path before you cut this thread. Singer is the very best machine ever, at least in my opinion and many other people's opinions. And just for fun, I'm going to put a bobbin on the bobbin winder and stretch out the thread path just to show you how it goes. And that's it. We'll get her packed up and we'll ship her off to you, and I wish you all the best and happiest of sewing. If you sew in this sample here, make sure you remove this spare needle before you do. So you don't want to hit that. You'll bend your needle and you could put your machine out of time. Let's see. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll get her off to you right away. Bye-bye.